LLC. I took that thumbnail because I didn't want to single anyone out. I didn't want to do it that way. So today, whether you want to listen or not, it's up to you. You can listen later on, I don't know. But anyway, we're talking about fake screen paints, fake specifications on products. And the reason what I don't like about this, I don't like when people don't do proper testing on their products and they just make up things as they go along. Now, in particular mind, we have a fellow, and yes, we have to bring him up. I usually like to use him in video demonstrations, but like I said, this is not to slam you, buddy, in any way whatsoever. I don't want you to think because you say some nasty stuff to me, you do some dirty stuff, you send some weird stuff to us. It's not about that. It's about basically making an honest, good product for the customers, and what the customers have to be careful and what they should be asking for. Customers need to be asking for test. Can you show me test on the product before it was sold? What's the difference between your product and other household paints? Like doing a gray versus gray, we do black versus black over here to show that at the end of the day that our products don't match any of the black paints and stuff like that. So one of the demonstrations I've seen so far with some pretty fake demonstrations is a product called PSP, and this is by a fellow who calls himself Partey. But keep in mind, we don't call him Partey, we call him Danny as his first name, I guess, or nickname, whatever, due to the fact that Partey is owned by somebody else in London, England. They actually own the rights to that name. He doesn't own the rights to it. There's no copyrights on it. So, I mean, we can dig it up and look. Maybe he got it copyrighted. I don't know. But usually when you have to do a copyright search or you get a copyright, they have to go take the name and they have to find out if anybody else has it. They do a copyright search, do a worldwide search. And if anybody else comes up with it, you can't have it. You got to try again. So, I don't know. We can go to Copyright Office and see if the name pulls up anything. Maybe he did get a copyright. Maybe he got something different than he thought. Who knows? Anyway, we're going to talk about fake specifications. So fake specifications when people lie about their products. And if you are experienced in the field, you will see these lies. People that are just now getting into the field, buying for the first time, you will not see this at all, period. Because, you're learning. So we're here to show you what you should be looking for. Now, in the specification sheet, 32 ounces, yeah, he can 120 inch. Easy can do 30, he can do 120 inches. If his product is good coverage, he could do 150 inch with 32 ounces. But that's what he has down there. That's what he has done there. I got to respect that. Over here we have, let me see. This is the problem. So this is a roll-on. Let me blow this up a little bit for you. This is a roll-on or spray-on, no thinning required, front and rear. Now this is where problems start to pop up. It's a front and rear, but it's not recommended for ultra short throw projectors. We talked about this before. And now this is a problem because rear projection screens have to work with ultra short throw. It's extremely important, especially if you're using this for inside home theater use, because your projector, if it's on a short throw, which it says it does work for long throw and short throw, if you're on a short throw, you're going to be anywhere from 5, 4, and 6 feet away from a screen, which means this is going to put the screen almost in the center of your living room. Between your sofa and your coffee table, this is going to be a nightmare. Because you got a really, really big living room. Long throw, not going to work because at 100 inches, you're going to have to be at least around 11 to 12 feet away from a screen in order to be able to pick up a 100-inch projection screen. So your screen is going to be 12 feet from the wall into your living room. Short throw, between 4, 5, and 6 feet off a wall into your living room. We did the measurements on Projector Central, picking up different short throw projectors to show you exactly where you're going to be at. So let's pick up a basic short throw projector. Let's see. We can pick up. Let's go with view. I got no microphone. It's not here with me. It's in the next room. I'll do this. I know by heart anyway. ViewSonic. Let's go with short throw. Let's pick up a basic ViewSonic short throw projector. They got one on eBay. We got one on Amazon. Amazon has this one over here. This is a short throw. That's not a short throw. I've had that projector. It's not a short throw. We need a short throw projector. Alright, short throw projector. This is the short throw projector right here. We'll grab this model number right here. Let's grab this model number right here for this projector. And then we're going to pop over to Projector Central. Let's go to Projector Central. Now keep in mind, you know, people think that who's going to do this much work? Companies are going to do this much work. People that are serious about their projection setup are going to do this kind of work at the end of the day. They're going to do the research. So we go over here to the top. This is how you do it at the very top at Projector Central. You'll have a search bar. We'll just go in there and put the model number of the projector there and just hit the search for it. And it'll bring up a specification sheet right here. And this specification sheet, this is how I was able to bust Jamie, aka Crow1176, which is a YouTuber who had an Epson 955WH projector and was claiming to do a demonstration at 16 feet from the screen. But for the strange thing about it was the Epson 955WH was fitting inside of a 100-inch screen. At around 15 to 16 feet back on this projector, you would get a screen size of 120 inches. So how in the world at 15 to 16 feet, this projector is fitting in a 100? That means because he had the zoom pushed all the way down, so that way you can compress the image to give it a sharper, brighter image. Man, you guys are too easy. I figure you guys out so quick, so fast, it's not even funny. I saw that Partey did that, or Danny did that outside. He had a piece of whatever surface, and he had the projector sitting back 12 feet, and it was fitting in that little spot. That's because you had the zoom pushed all the way down, that's why. All right. Let's go over here and let's look at this projector. So that's a projector. We're getting a short throw projector. We're going down to the bottom. We're going to look out for a screen calculation distance throw. This is how you figure it out, people. When you do your 16:9, we'll do a whole thing and talk about 16:10 customized screens, 235.1s. We'll talk about that later on. I'll show you how to build those. Anyway, here you are. This is your calculator. This is your screen. So this right here is going to give you the width of your screen, which is always measured this way. This is how big your screen is. This is going to be the width of it. This is going to be the height of it. This is going to be your projector throw. So with this projector in 16:9 aspect ratio, see it right there, 16:9 aspect ratio, we are going for a screen size of 120 inches because he only does 120 inches. That's the biggest he can get out of his container. So let's see where we have to be at. And this will show you exactly how far your screen is going, how far the projector is going to be sitting in your living room. So let's go to 120, break it down. There we go. So now we're at 120 inch. The screen is measured this way. So 120 inch, 105 across, 59 inches up. And if you have this mounted to your ceiling, you want to make sure the screen is a foot away from the baseboard. This is how you read all this stuff. So your projector is at 6 feet. So that means if you're doing rear projection, your projector would have to be 6 feet away from the wall, your screen will. And that will put that directly in the middle of your living room, depending on the size of your living room. Now, if you have this set up where it's hitting front projection, oh, this is fantastic, because now your projector is only 6 feet. Well, then your projector is sitting 6 feet in the middle of your living room, but you can also mount that to the ceiling, and you can fix that problem quick, but they make projector mounts for those. But this right here, this is going to be a problem. Unless you're going to mount it to the ceiling, and that's definitely going to be a problem there too on top of that, because that's going to become a neck breaker. It's only 59 inches high. You're going to have your head up on the tilt trying to see that because it's going to attach to your ceiling. And if you thought the ambient light in the environment is going to affect your screen, wait till you have a screen sitting right there with a light sitting behind the back of it. That is definitely going to wash your screen out 10 times faster. So that's a no can do. This is usually what I have to do when I walk into an environment. I have to troubleshoot everything in the environment to see how we can put a screen in there without basically having any issues. But since our technology is designed to absorb light, we don't care. We can put it anywhere we want. Like paint one to a ceiling with ceiling lights and chandeliers next to it. But anyway, this is where you're going to end up at. You're going to be 6 feet into your living room. And this is with the projector, the ViewSonic PX706 HD. Short throw. That's where it's going to throw you at 1920 by 1080p. That's where we're going to be at 22,000:1 contrast. You're going to be sitting in the middle. So the problem we have here is he didn't do the math correctly. And he just threw things in there because some people feel they can do that in a day. Nobody will figure it out. How that thing go on YouTube, nobody will know. Nobody will know. I'll know. And anybody else that's a guru tech at the end of the day, or anybody else who knows a little bit about projectors will pick up on it and know. There's nowhere in the world, if you have a front and rear screen paint, it has to be ultra short throw. Has to be. Because there's going to be problems with that. Now, another issue you're going to have. If you're talking about the coating, how heavy is the coating? How many applications it's needed? It's going to be 1 application and be 2 applications. Lamp glare. At how many lumens can penetrate through that screen? Can 4,000 do it? Can 5,000 do it? Mind, you're going to have to do a reverse distance throw, which means you're not going to be sitting in the back of the room with this screen. You're sitting right up on top of the screen to see exactly how many lumens that 5,000 lumens can punch right through the screen. Or you're going to have to use ultra short throw, which means ultra short throw, you're not going to see the lamp glare because the lamp glare is going to be bouncing off a mirror and then reflecting back into the glass, but you're not going to see it. Now, if you decide to go long throw, ultra short throw, you're still going to have the projector back at a greater distance. And long throw, ultra short throw applications means you have to take the projector and you have to mount it up really, really high. The screen has to be low. So the glare from the projector is missing it, but with lens shift capability, you can redirect the screen downward, which would cancel out the lamp glare altogether. Just have to get a really good projector that has that capability. We only have one in here that does it, and that's the Chrissy LWU505. Has the ability to send a lens or image up to the ceiling all the way back to the floor. The rest of them can't do it. So that's going to cost you some money. Well, not really. If you get the Chrissy's, you can do it that way. But again, where is the screen going to sit if you're using this for home theater use? It's still going to sit in the middle of your living room because you have to have ultra short throw in order to do this. So this is going to become a huge problem. All right, another issue we have here, range gain. Oh, I forgot, we can skip back to, before we get to this, let's talk about the elimination of lamp glare. So how many shades does it take to eliminate 100% of the lamp glare? If your screen is black, can it pick up on an angle? And keep in mind, it's going to have to do that on a 90-degree angle. It should be able to do that with no problem. If you have a problem with ultra short throws picking up on an angle, and they do pretty much plague screens that don't have the ability to pick up really good on angles, then there's no way in the world you're going to be able to run angle gains are going to pick up at all, period. It's going to be a problem from day one. So you're going to have to go through the extermination of the lamp glare. So basically for us, if we're doing window glass, we always say 1 application. If we are doing a front and rear home theater setup, 2 applications. And if we want something that's going to completely knock out all lamp glare altogether, it'll be a 4 application coating. That's what we know this because we did testing. That's how we found out about all this, because we did testing. So ultra short throw is going to play a part in there one way or another. It's going to pop up. You're going to have it, especially if you're going to be using this for home theater use. Now, range gain. Is this real? No, this is not real. This is not real at all, period. I got a better chance of finding a rainbow with a leprechaun at the end of it with gold at that. I got a better chance of getting that. This does not freaking exist. If it does, I would love to see it. I would love to see this. I swear, I would love to see this if this does exist. So what's going on in this? Approximate range gain. So basically what he's explaining here can vary slightly based on application technique. There's no link here because it doesn't exist. So what he's saying is the same paint of gray or black or whatever it may be. If you paint this differently, you achieve a gain of 8.5 or 0.8. I don't know which one it is because anytime they painted the screen, neither Solidwake 5, who did the review on his product, or Danny himself basically didn't explain what screen they were painting when they first started out. And we never saw another application. There should be 2 videos on this, showing one form of gain and the other one, which means, buddy, you're going to have to require something called a gain gun. This is where you're going to have to aim at the screen, pull that trigger, and it's going to have to give a different reading off on each one. It ain't going to happen. That's virtually impossible. That's almost as worse as this nonsense advertising from JM Geo. I think that's what it is. JM Geo. I don't remember the projector. Ultra short throw. JM. I think it is Geo. So it's JM Go. I think it's JM Go. This is some nonsense right here. Man, you guys are getting just as worse as these projectors. Where is that one? Oh, here we go. Unless it's my personal favorite, this one right here. I wonder if they changed the specifications on it since I've been talking about this. All right, this projector is, oh, they've changed the limit count on this. Has somebody been breaking down on them? Somebody's been breaking down on them because this is not the same. I got the actual video on this, and yeah, they've been breaking down on them. This projector is 1800 lumens. So I guess that video did do some help. I did a video on them. I actually got a chance to talk to them directly from their site. And in the middle of a live stream, they actually deleted what I was talking about. But we got a screenshot of them saying that the projector was something like 4K, but it wasn't 4K at all, period. So right here it's saying it's 1800 lumens. 1800 lumens, 1800 lumens all the way across. Capable of producing 2400 lumens, still same lie. They had it at 36. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I got this one again. I'm gonna go pull mine up. Where's mine at? Say I got it right here. I got it right here. Let me see. I've got to hunt mine down now. I gotta look into this. Projectors do this nonsense too. Fake specifications. Nonsense. Yes, sirree. Oh man, I love doing this kind of work. I really do. I do all this research. People think I do it for the sake of just putting people, well, yeah, putting people on blast. Because look, people, at the end of the day, people don't like me. Let me explain something to you. If it's not me, it will be somebody else. There are a million of my kind on the planet. You know that, right? That dig through all this nonsense. And we love to catch people doing dumb stuff at the end of the day. There's millions of my kind. Don't think it's just me. This is why knowing that there are people like me that are very thorough about looking through every little thing, this is why my product is tested so well. Because of people like me. That's why I don't cut any corners, because I know there are people just like me that will go through every single thing. That's why you got to come correct. There you go. But there are also people that want to do the job lazy. Let's look this up real quick. KMG. I know we did. There we go. Bum, 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 bum. You know, it's funny. I went to Kickstarter because somebody sent me this video. And they sent me the video and they said, hey, I wonder if your product will work on this. I said, oh, no, it's not going to work. So I checked out the Kickstarter and then a nice demo and all that on there. But none of that was going to happen either way. And I had so many people came in there hating on me, talking about, yeah, this and yeah, that, and you're hating because of the projector. I told you. Did I not tell you this was going to happen? Sure enough, it popped up, went to their channel, had a conversation with them, and they admitted that the projector was a 1080p base. I posted that. Oh man, it was quiet as quiet can be in that room, and nobody said a word. I bet you the people who bought it hurt the most. I told you not to buy it. I literally told you, do not buy it. Don't buy it. Did you buy it? Yeah, you bought it. Here we go. That's why I give you the information. I warn you about this. Now, this is the conversation we had in the room. Let me back it up a little bit because we're way up on the screen. See right there, the producer, Kenneth Bird. It's a 1080p 1920. You can't be both 4K and 1080p. It's one or the other. That's how that works. We all know that. We all know that. People who know me, watch my channel, you know. I'm not talking down to you like you don't know anything. You do know. We're talking about the people who don't know. And the people that I'm trying to teach. No. 1080p and 4K cannot exist in the exact same realm. It's one or the other. If they come up with a projector like that one day, that would be sick and amazing. But right now, it's either one or the other. So these projectors are telling you, it advertises. Now mind you, when it advertises on Kickstarter, did they post any of this? Did you see any of this posted in the Kickstarter? Did you see any of this posted and the product specification on Facebook, even on the website? Did you see any of this? No, you didn't. They deleted this. When I was in there talking about it, they deleted it. It was a slight hiccup, and then poof, it was gone. I even got that on tape too. So this right here is a 1080p projector. You spent all that money for a 1080p. You could have got a ViewSonic for 4K. Same price too, on top of that. All right. So here, right here at the top, I didn't call them on this, but I should have, but I didn't. Because sometimes I just let things go. See where it says, Kenneth Bird, hello. The contrast video in daytime, because I kept seeing all these demonstrations in the dark. Show me a demonstration on the contrast on this projector in daytime hours. Daytime will be available around April the 10th. Please stay tuned. Guess what? That video never popped up. It never even happened. There is no video in that at all, period. They sat right there and lied to me when I was having that conversation with them. This is why I warn you guys about the industry. I warn you. They'll sit there and lie dead in your face, and they can go and slap a lawsuit on me at the end of the day. I ain't afraid. I'll go to court, no problem at all, and still prove you wrong. Give me that exposure at the end of the day. You don't want to do that. A couple companies learn that the hard way. Best basically to deal with what we're coming at you with. It says right here, Kenneth Bird, and it says right there, we're supposed to have this video on the 10th of April. Never even saw it. Because the reason why I requested that, every demonstration I saw on that projector was in a dark environment. But when I saw the Kickstarter, everything was in a fully lit environment. Now, remember the projector, the JM Geo projector. See if we can go back to this one right here. We went to ViewSonic and got that one. Oh, this is the Kickstarter video. Everything is in the well-lit environment. Let's see over here where we're at with this. This is when I had to pull up what it meant by 4K, because for some reason they get that mixed up. I don't know why. Well, we do know why. They're just they're cheating you. That's what it comes down to. Let's find it on Amazon. Here it is. This is it on Amazon. This is the reason why I go in and I record all this stuff. All right. Let's go back a little farther. Right there. This is a projector right here. Now you can see that's the ultra short throw JMGL. They have it here at 2400 lumens. But back on the Amazon page is 18. It says capability of producing 3600 lumens on an ambient light rejection screen. So that means that if you switch over to an ambient light rejection screen, this screen will get projector will get brighter and produce 3600 lumens. Right? Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. Do 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 do. This is why you got to do homework, people. Got to do the homework. This is why we're so strict on our tests, so strict on our demonstrations, because there we go. There's a JM projector that we have over here. Now, this projector is, let me go back here for a minute. We had it at the 24, it was 2400 lumens, 2400 lumens. If you hit it with an ambient light rejection screen, it would jump up to, it was 36. So this is supposed to be 3600 lumens. Now it's 1800 lumens. And if you hit it on a projector that's ambient light rejection, you get 2400 lumens. That projector right there just lied in its specifications altogether. 4K tri-color laser, not gonna happen. Not gonna happen at all, period. And now it's 1800 lumens when it was 24, and when it was actually 24 at one point, and if you hit something, it's 36. All right, let's go pop over here. Range gain. All right, so range gain, no, doesn't exist. So the same thing that they did here by telling you now that at 1800 lumens, same projector, if you hit it on a screen that is ambient light projection, it is going to produce a whopping 2400 lumens. It's the same thing he did here in this demonstration, well, not demonstration, we haven't seen the demonstration yet, that approximate gain range. The heck? Am I seeing the same thing here? This gain range on here? Did he copy off this? Well, he copied the nonsense off of this. Because right here we have 1800 lumens. And at the 4K laser projector at 1800 lumens brightness, capable of producing 2400 lumens. At one point it was 24 and 36. On an ambient light projection screen without screen providing, without lumens, without a screen, So without screen, it's 1800 lumens. If you hit it with a screen, it's 24. He has on the range gain, he has approximate gain range. You would get off this approximate means this is exactly what the number is going to come down to. He says 8.0 to 8.5, 8.85. That's a lie. That's virtually impossible. There's no way in the world you can paint a screen with the same paint and paint it a different way and get a completely different gain. That's a lie. So he has this pretty much in everything. He says curious application. I've seen the demonstration that a child can paint the screen. No, it cannot paint the screen. I've seen this thing. It's a headache to paint the screen. But anyway, it's not about that. It's basically about the specifications or fate. Does the specifications, do you have anything on here of important? That right there is 0 or something in infusion. It doesn't mean anything at the end of the day. What about different surfaces you can paint it on? There's nothing there for different surfaces. What about the viewing angle capability, outside capabilities, low lumen capabilities? What type of projectors it was tested on? Links to anything? There's nothing there. Let's go over to the PSP Premiums. I'm going to go back over here. Let's just grab a random one over here. Let's bring it back some. All right. I'm doing more worse than my cat does with the stand. All right. So this one is the dark gray. I saw the dark gray. We actually have it on recording of Solid Wake 5 doing the dark gray, and it started off dark gray. It just ended up light gray, well, actually kind of mid gray. So didn't change at all, period. So this demonstration was a complete fail. Like I said, a fellow by the name Solid Wake, of course they're going to choose somebody that they know, and even he failed. He got on camera, talked a whole bunch of huff and puff about how it was a real product at the end of the day, and couldn't get the product to match when he pulled it off the lid. It was dark gray. The knife he pulled out was dark gray, but the product came out a mid gray. As a matter of fact, it looked exactly like the same color screen before he painted it. I have no idea how that's even possible. And he sat there and shook it up viciously, and still. Oh, that's off the channel. You won't find it. He deleted his entire channel. We know why. But anyway, he doesn't have it. So we do have a copy of it. We call it the magic paint, because we never seen a paint change colors like that before. All right, same thing here. This one has range gain attached to it. This is a lie. This is virtually impossible. Danny, let me explain something to you. You have to prove that. You got to prove that. No one is going to believe that. You have to prove that I can take the same screen paint. If I paint it a different way, I'm going to get a different gain. Oh man, I could not imagine myself saying that out of my mouth. Gee whiz. You know people would call me on that at the end of the day if I made a statement that way? Is there favoritism in this field? What's going on here? Because if I made this statement, everybody on the face of the planet would be jumping down my throat to, oh, prove it. But these people do it, and no one else says anything at all. But I will. I definitely will. I find that interesting. So, yeah, range gain. Yeah, this right here, fake, phony, doesn't exist. 2,000 lumens, again, we pick up at 1,000, no problem. So, again, that's no competition for us at all, period. There's no test on these for the product. We don't even know what color it is when it's painted down because it's going to change color completely. So, don't even know. Because we watched it in a live demonstration, and the guy sat there and said, I wasn't really expecting this color. I was expecting something else, but this was not the color. All right, let's come out of here. Let's grab ourselves another one. We got charcoal, dark gray, and black. I guarantee you they're just both the same. Not even going to go wrong. What do we have here? This is supposed to be a ultra short throw paint. This was supposed to be out by May the 26th. Get out of there. May the 26th. You know why this was put on pause? Because again, he has to figure out what's going on with the rest of the products. Does this have a range gain attached to it? This is supposed to be premium paint dark gray. Wait a minute. Didn't we just add a dark gray? What the? We have two colors of the same paint up here. This is supposed to be ultra short though, dark gray. You have dark gray here, and you have dark gray here. They're both dark gray. But so for this one will work with ultra short throw, and this one won't work with ultra short throw. Oh, that doesn't make any sense. That's just stupid. Really? Where did you come up with that idea? And I'm sorry, I had to call people dumb, but they're both dark gray. So this one, they're both dark gray. I can see if one was a light gray, and one over here was dark gray. I can understand that, all right? Maybe the dark gray has issues picking up on ultra short though, light gray's not. But I don't get this. How are they both the same color? You have under the Dark Star 9 has an ultra short though version of it, but it's actually lighter. It's a little lighter than the Dark Star 9 front projection. So you can see there's a difference between the two. But this doesn't make any sense because they're both same color, dark gray and dark gray. That doesn't make any sense. And they're both the same name and the same paint. Oh, we're just doing all kinds of freaking. Look at this. Boy, talk about painting the wagon red. A different color after that. Let's see what we got on this one. The product that's not available. This is the same fellow who had products that were seasonable, which again I don't understand how that even works. All right, so this is supposed to be ultra short throw. So it's the same color. This one just works with ultra. This one works with ultra short throw projector. Designed for ultra short throw projectors. Note this version is specifically designed for ultra short throws. Wait a minute. So you're saying it'll work with long throws? Specifically designed for ultra short throws. So they're both going to be, I guarantee they're the same color. This is a bunch of hula. It is. It's a bunch of hula. I bet you we buy both of those green paints, both of them will work on the same paint. I guarantee you. This is why we have all our screen paints work with ultra short throw. They all do. 2,000 lumens? Are you kidding me? For an ultra short throw? So ultra short throw lumen count, right, is 2,000 lumens. That's pretty low. No, actually, that's pretty high because you can get 1,000 lumen ultra short throws. I think Mitsubishi makes them. Mitsubishi makes those projectors at 1,000 lumens, something like that. All right, let me see right here. Do we have a range gain in here? No, we have one gain. So we have one gain in here, which is 0.08. That's the gain on it. A 0.08 gain. You should be able to operate this in an insanely fluid environment. That's a very high gain. But this is not available, so we really can't say much about it because it's not available. Another lie we have on the site is this one. This is one of the bigger lies I've seen so far. This one says that none of the products are over the counter. That's a lie. That's definitely a lie. There is no way in the world that you're making this stuff from scratch. That is virtually impossible. The requirements that you would need. Did he remove this from scratch off his site? Because I'm on the front page. I think we're not seeing it anymore. I think he did remove it. Let me see. Make sure. Well, that paint, the charcoal gray didn't come out right. No, the dark gray didn't come out right. The color didn't come out correctly. All right, nothing there. Let me see. we have? Here we go. He does still have it here. All right, so this is a lie. His product is $60, right? Now he claims, sorry about the camera doing that. He claims that our premium screen paints are made from scratch, not from over the counter. That's a lie. Because again, when you say made from scratch, that means you are making a chemical from scratch. Number one, you don't have the permits, zoning laws. You don't even have the proper chemical background to work with these kind of chemicals. Shoot, not the medications, the chemicals alone for making a paint from the ground up is extremely crazy expensive. Like almost $400 or $500 for whatever you got to put in there. So it is very expensive and extremely hazardous. And there's no way in the world you can do it on your land because it'll be an environmental problem at the end of the day and you'll be going to jail. So there's no way in the world. All screen paint products come over the counter, every single one of them. The difference of what makes a screen paint different than another product over the counter is you're going to have to prove it. This is where black versus black demonstrations come in. We have to prove this. So that's impossible. Like I said, I gave you the whole scenario about bake mix. Simple. People do it all the time. They go to parties and they buy something they've been buying every day. But for some reason, Martha down the street makes it taste like absolute heaven. What do you put in this, girlfriend, to make it taste so good? And she can't tell you that because that's a secret. But whatever she put into that Duncan Hines cake mix is the freaking world to anyone else who tastes it. And she got a trademark secret. There are different tons. There's so many tons of Coca-Cola, so many versions of it, but there's only one Coca-Cola. And it's the only one that has that taste. What makes it so different? So with this, yes, everything is over the counter. It is. Unless you have some crazy freaking Frankenstein lab and you got a degree in chemistry and all this crazy stuff and you're literally making this stuff from scratch, it's going to cost you so much to make this. Even with the licenses, and you know basically you can't throw this stuff away in like everyday dumpsters. You have to have special dumpsters where this stuff has to go through to be processed. So no, it's not being made over the counter. That'd be virtually impossible. He's making it from scratch. Sorry, it's over the counter. He's making it from over the counter. All right, let's go here. Let's go from ingredients needed to make house paint from scratch. Oh, I forgot. Do we have microphones up here? No. Let me go grab microphones. The company's going to look at that and they're going to go, make from scratch. Like, really? Are you making this from scratch? Like, and they're going to be curious. They want to see your test facility, all that. You don't have one because you're not making it from scratch. House paint, chemical formula made from scratch. Back it up a little bit here so you guys can see it a little better. Let's see. So, Danny, my friend, these are the table of contents you're going to have to know. Oh, it's a lot of crazy math at the end of the day. It's absolutely insane. You have a degree in advanced chemistry. That's exactly what you're going to need to do it. And again, all this stuff up here is extremely hazardous. You know how much a hazmatic suit costs to be able to work in an environment like that, let alone the facility and licenses? As I said before, to do this, it is very expensive. Chemicals are not exactly cheap. Yeah. Price of chemicals used to make paint from scratch. So let's go over here. So these little poisonous items right there. You can't even buy this stuff unless you can show some form of licensing to be able to have it. And they want to ask a ton of questions because, again, you're going to be thinking you may be making a bomb at the end of the day. You're asking for this kind of stuff. Then they're like, oh, wait a minute, wait. What are you doing again? What's this for? And these so many questions will pop up. Oh, I should have put down price for making paint chemicals. Let's see if I can find some of these crazy chemicals for this stuff. What chemicals make paint? Ew, gee whiz, yeah. This is definitely one of them. Let's see. Gonna have to it go through a flash point to make sure it's safe for the consumer. All that stuff that's sitting behind the counters at Home Depot and Lowe's, all that stuff has been tested. There we go. Titanium dioxide, I think that's what it is, one of them. Let's see. Breathe this stuff in, you're gonna have all kinds of problems at the end of the day. Come out of there and can't figure out why you can't smell things correctly, or why you can't taste food. All kinds of crazy stuff is gonna pop up. So let me go over to, let me see, I was right there. There we go. Let me get to my list right here. What's going on there? Let me see. Chemicals. Oh man, this stuff is pretty bad too, what it can do to it in the day. Let's see. I'm pulling all these up. Now, when I'm looking for a warehouse and I tell them at the end of the day that, hey, I work with chemicals, guess what? I can't walk, even if it's water-based, I can't walk into any warehouse and set up shop. Not going to happen. If I want to be using this on a commercial level, this is a hobby level, but a commercial level, as in shipping out tons of this stuff, yeah, things get different. Things change real quick, real fast. So they're going to be shipping out how much of this? Okay, we need to know, we got some information, what's going out, what's going in the dumpsters, how you got to process it. There's a whole lot of stuff that'll pop up. Let's see. Okay. Ingredients and cost of making paint from scratch. Where is it? Oh, come on, man. No. Out from under my desk. You're not attacking. Sneak attack on my freaking stand again. All right, let me see. Should have put down house paint because it can be anything else but house paint. Ingredients cost for making house paint from scratch. So let's see if we can pull it here. This is the lighter stuff. There's no way he's making out of this stuff. And again, he may, if he's making it, no, he can't. That's virtually impossible. This would cause all kinds of problems. Definitely would cause all kinds of problems. Paint colors, paint by scratch. We just had this thing up here. Ingredients. Ingredients for making paint. No, we should have put down chemicals need to make paint. There we go. So you got a Bunsen burn, all that stuff around Dr. Jekyll? I don't think you do. So you're going to need a hazmat suit and some very expensive chemicals to do it. Chemicals needed to make acrylic paint. Now they're giving me acrylic paint. I'm going to see what it takes to make acrylic paint. And this is actually acrylic paint. I don't think it's giving me exactly what I'm requesting. You see right here, this is what he's going to have to know at the end of the day. Even I can't read that crap at the end of the day. I got a friend of mine who is I'm not a chemist at the day, but I got a friend of mine who is a chemist. He can read that. He can tell you exactly what that means. Hazardous materials used to make acrylic paint. I love this microphone system. So it's just giving me oil base. We don't want oil base. You want house paint because you know what's made by oil base. If it's oil base, it's going to hot spot like crazy because there's an oil in it. It's the same thing like using a glossy paint, which you don't want. Hazardous material used to make acrylic paints. Here we go. She gave me some at the door. Although it's water-based, let's see, raw materials. Mercury is one of them. Did you know that? That in water-based and both oil-based, mercury is actually used. Looking up this stuff at the end of the day. Did I actually get mercury? Mercury, the chemical. Mercury, the chemical compound.
Chemical compounds frequently mentioned on the web include methylmercury, mercury, 2-oxide, mercury, 2-chloride, and others.
So the question is, which one did you put in? Because again, either one of these are going to cause problems at the end of the day. If the equivalent of dropping one of those high fluorescent bulbs, you know, things got mercury in them, right? Ingredients to making acrylic house paint from scratch.
Here's some information for acrylic paint DIY. Here's a summary from Art Supplies Australia. Here are the steps for making homemade acrylic paint. 1. Mix 1/3 cup of white glue with 1/3 cup water in a container that has a lid or cover. 2. Add food coloring or other colorants until you have the desired shade. And 3. Pour the paint into another container for storage.
Now the problem you have from that is that's not made from scratch, because all those at the end of the day are basically products that are already made. So you have to make it from scratch. All right, so let me explain something to you so you can understand this. When I was at a place doing a setup, and one of the things I asked was, how do I know you guys are not going to reverse engineer my stuff? And the guy made it simple. He said, first of all, reverse engineering a product is a headache, because for each one of those products that make up that one product, like say if you're making a cake, got eggs and milk and whatever you add into it, each one of those products are made by a company, which means you have to go to each one of those companies and ask them for permission if you can use part of that product to use and this is what you explain it, and whatever you're making to develop something new. I don't know, it's kind of a gray area there, both back and forth, because people still mix stuff together, but this is how it goes down. So anyway, the company could deny it and say, no, we don't want you using it, blah, 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 blah. Then you have to bring a chemist in, and the chemist has to figure out how they made the ingredients, and they're going to have to make it so it doesn't match their ingredients, so that way it doesn't conflict with a copyright, or sorry, a patent on their product. You can make it, it just can't have any of the ingredients that made their product. You have to make that from scratch. And you'll have to make each one of those ingredients from scratch. That's how it works. But in order to do that, you have to know about this stuff. I know about this stuff because I've been down that road. I had to change this because the music was driving me a little crazy. Let me see. All right. So, no, he's not making it from scratch. That's virtually impossible. That's not going to happen. But I'm still trying to figure out what these chemicals, this right here, you can't make it from scratch. And you put glue in it, oh, that's not going to go well. I'm going to make this. I'm curious to see how this turns out. But yeah, I'm going to make this right here. But no, it's not glue. That stuff would be too thin. And they put in, what did they put into this? Flour. So no, that's not going to, that's going to thicken it up. chemical compounds to make paint.
Chemical compounds frequently mentioned on the web include titanium dioxide, calcium
Here we go,
carbonate,
this is it.
trichloroethylene, and others.
So basically, these are the chemical compounds. This is what I should have said at the beginning. Chemical compounds for paint, to create paint. So this is what you would need in order to do it. So let's go through each one of these and see, not each one of these. I'm curious what the cost is going to be for this. Give me this right here and here. I'm gonna look this up. Oh, what is this product gonna cost me? What's the image on this? Oh, I tell you a whole lot of craziness right there from the door. So he's gonna have to, there's no way in the world. That's why since I'm showing you how crazy it is, there's no way in the world he's making this from scratch. Impossible. This is one of the chemicals right here. Let's go back to the page. Let me go back. Let me go back. Let me see. There's a list right here. This is the list that's needed to make paint. That's the chemical. That's what you're going to need. So now, ain't happening. That stuff right there literally costs more than 60 bucks. Acetone, acetone. Acetone is one of them. Acetone. This one right there. Come with VOC paints, primer, varnishes, including benzide. I can't, formaldehyde. It says formaldehyde? That can't be what I think it is right there. That's crazy. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Hazmatic suit used for creating paint. What would be a hazmatic material? Hazmatic suit for making paint. So this is what you'll be running into. This is what you're going to have because you're talking about a very, very powerful chemical that can make you extremely sick. So you have to be fully covered up. So I know we went on and on about this right here, but this is just to show you how bogus it is when a person makes a statement that they made it from scratch. First things first, you're going to have the entire ingredients. We showed you the ingredients. It's nuts, so it's crazy. Second, this is the kind of suit you're going to have to wear because this stuff is very, very poisonous and it can kill you. So no, there's no way in the world possible that he's basically making this stuff from scratch. Ain't going to happen. Oh, man. Not going to happen. So that's a complete lie. Not making anything from scratch. Not happening at all, period. And for whatever I saw turn gray when he painted down the screen, again, I don't know, you didn't do your calculations right. I don't know what went on with that. That didn't turn out right. It didn't turn out right either way. All right, so specification sheet, we know it's a complete lie. You're not making parts from scratch. That's virtually impossible because, again, you have to have so much zoning laws. It's not even funny how to do that. Licenses, the chemicals are extremely expensive, and on top of that, they're extremely hazardous. My man, you end up getting cancer messing with this stuff at the end of the day. So there's no way in the world, even possible. On top of that, you couldn't even sell this stuff without proper clearance. Everything behind Home Depot and Lowe's has proper clearance behind the back of it. You can sell it. You can even mix it and you can sell it. But you can't make something from scratch and just sell it off from scratch. There was a fellow by the name, like I told you about, Mississippi Man. This guy was really, really high IQ. He actually knew what he was talking about. He didn't come on camera talking about a whole bunch of trash. He literally knew what he was talking about. He was actually a really smart dude. Yeah, we bumped head quite a few times and we didn't like each other. But I give credit where credit was due. He knew what he was talking about. He was smart. But the chemicals that he put down in his ingredients for free, he could never sell it. And the reason why he could never sell it is because it would never pass a patent. No way in the world. Because before you can actually sell a product or get it deemed as with a patent, it has to prove that it's consumer safe. And if they feel that you have something in there that's not consumer safe, you won't be granted a patent. And that's why he gave it away for free. So this stuff right here, if you're selling this and this stuff hasn't been proper tested and he claims what he says he's claimed, you're going to jail for a very long time. Because you're operating a chemical facility without proper zoning or licenses and you're using chemicals that are not properly tested. You then put it through a flash zone. What happens in the summer heat? Will this stuff explode on you? Anything could happen. Can't implode on you? Can you go through all? No, your stuff is not tested. So you basically just made a chemical from scratch, put it into a container instead of shipping it off to people with no proper testing behind it. Yeah, that's definitely a real high lawsuit behind that one. No, this is all fake. Okay. Oh, man. From what I read on the eBay specifications with different paints, pretty much majority of them are up front. The ones that say that you're going to get dark contrast levels, you're not going to get contrast levels from a gray paint. It's just not going to happen. You're not going to get those heavy contrast levels. You need shades of gray, that's what you're going to get. The darker the product, the better the shade of gray. That's what's going to happen. But also, too, your white levels are going to be sacrificed in the process, and also color. So that's something you'll have to deal with in the long run. Ambient light projection technology, none of them have the capability of doing that. They could say an ambient light controlled environment, that's fair to say. It's definitely fair to say, because that's what you'll be using it in. But to say that you're going to be using it in a fully lit environment, no. Let me see something for a minute. Best color screen for 4K applications. Let's see, 4K applications. Well, I got screens itself. Didn't give me much information on projector screen. The 4K applications, best color screen, best projection screen. That's what I should have put in there. I'm just gonna poke a hole. We've had these paint on screens. I've been there. I've done their demonstrations already. See how black screens are not posted in there now? We never at one point would never see black screens in there. Now we're seeing black screens in there pop up. Good. Gotta get me a dark. Oh, I got me a Dark Vader helmet. Go over to all the grace really join the dark side. That's not black. That's actually gunmetal. So that's not a black screen. It's interesting because darker screens at that color at that particular time, before the gunmetal technology came out, were considered to be black screens. But now, since gunmetals came out, they had to change that. So this is a much darker screen right here. You can see it's not light gray. And so the problem we have in the projection screen world is they think because for some reason that black screens can't generate high enough white levels. And we can, because they haven't seen our technology. But that's why we need to go to those shows, because we plan to change all that. We know white screens can't pull color for jack. Let's pull up the benefit of a black screen. Much more efficient. Okay, so let's get back to this real quick, because I don't want to go off topic here, because that's me studying. That's me literally studying stuff, and I just almost knocked my stand off into the screen. I'm trying to get this thing. All right. Let's get back in here and talk about this real quick. So, from what I've seen on Danny's specifications, yeah, it's basically a lot of fakery. You're not making it from scratch. That's not going to happen. That's definitely not going to happen. Not making it from scratch. Range gain doesn't exist. That is fake. That's phony. That's not real. The fact that he can't use his rear projection capabilities, and there's so many questions missing off rear. He can't use rear capabilities on rear projection screen. That's another problem, because again, if for home theater use, you're going to have that screen sitting in the middle of your living room, so that's going to be definitely a problem right there. As for products we've seen under Crow's, well, Crow's products match house paint. That's the problem we have there. A lot of his products match house paint. There is no testing under any of his products. There's nothing there at all. There were some demonstrations, I don't know what they were, for the Frankenstein, but all those went missing too also. But his products do actually match house paint. So that's a very serious problem because, again, you have to know how much of his products are matching house paint. For what we did in our testing, we were able to match 3 of the products to house paint. So that's one problem you will be having right there. Unless he can show you some demonstrations of his product showing otherwise, but from what we received already from his products, he was matching a lot of house paint, and that is not good. Let me tell you something how damaging it is to match a house paint. The first time you do it, you are done. I mean done. It takes a lot to come back from that. You got to convince a customer at the end of the day he or she is not getting ripped off by getting a house paint. You have to be able to back that up. If you can't back that up, you're going to have problems. Oh man, they're big problems. Big problems. That's what you don't want. Now mind you, we're going to go back a little bit here. This is where I painted in the screen myself over here. And the demonstration, these are our test results. And this is also too, again, the specifications do lie because it says that the Cinemax has beautiful color, it's 4K worthy, all this stuff, but the problem is, so if the house paint does the same thing that the Cinemax does. So, but the house paint is much cheaper. These are some screenshots right here from the actual paint and the product, showing you how close he came. So does he lie in his specification sheet? Yeah, he does lie in his specification sheet because there's no way in the world that if you're claiming your product to be this good and it's actually matching house paint at the end, this is definitely going to be a problem at the end. Let's go over here to our YouTube search. I'll pop over to our YouTube search. I want to pull up, let me see, go back a bit here. I want to put up, let's see, 2 quarts paint a 300-inch screen. All right, let's see what we got here. Oh, bullseye, that's another one. That's a nightmare for him. That bullseye matches everything. Here it is right here. So basically this is a demonstration on false information that Crow 1176, who does some work, I'm sorry, but you have to put it out there, buddy. I know this bothers you, but you wrote this stuff. This is your writing. We have all this out here because, again, I'm exposing the lies that we see on these specification sheets. So this right here is a product by the fellow we mentioned, Jamie, and this was on his website. He removed it off of it because he realized he was wrong for putting it up there. This is the Cinemax. Cinemax is a huge lie. Cinemax is house paint. There's just no way around it, buddy. It's house paint. It is house paint, house paint, house paint, house paint. You can put it on a 4K projector. You can put it on long throw, ultra short throw, pico, but it don't make a difference. It's house paint. It does the same thing as house paint. But look at your specification sheet here. You say 2200 lumens. We have the Frankenstein 2200 lumens. We got the Cinemax here. It says right here that 2 quarts of the mix will cover up to a 300-inch screen. Do you have any idea how big a 300-inch screen? The screen we had in the backyard was 250 inches. And we did a paint down on that with 2 quarts, and it didn't even cover. It didn't even come close. So that's virtually impossible. Fake lies already from the door. 2 quarts. And it says right here, the total of 3 100-inch screens. You don't know math. You literally physically do not know math. Who in their right mind, who calls himself a professional in the field, literally puts that Mickey Mouse math down? You really think 300 screens equivalent to the size of an actual 300-inch screen? If that's the case, I had 250 inches side by side. That would have made it 300 inches because they're both 150, 150 would have been 3. But that's not, it's not going to happen because the height's missing. Not going to happen. But that literally what he wrote in this website right there. The mix is my favorite. One of all my, I hate reading this stuff, and then I really do. I feel illiterate when I read this stuff. This mix should be this is my, don't forget it. This mix is my favorite. One of all my mixes. It will give you well-balanced picture. What the freak is well-balanced picture? What does well-balanced picture mean? Well-balanced picture from your ultra short throw projector. It works best with 2200 lumens and up. Test it with 1080p and 4K. Great with some like, oh gee whiz, my goodness. I don't want to be rude here, and I'm not that person. I'm trying to do it in the day, but I literally feel like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where the guy drew the speech, and he's like, give me money. I want power. Power now. I really feel like I'm reading it that way. He doesn't word things out correctly. There's other ways he can go about this. Spelling checkers, maybe somebody spells a little better, and his family, you can get them to write it out for him. So that way he can look a little bit more professional. But the problem we have here is the fact that, yeah, the writing is really bad, and the specifications are fake. So let's see, 4K, great with some light environments. 2 quarts of light environments. 2 quarts of my mix will cover up to a 300-inch screen, a total of 3 100-inch screens. No, that's not the same. You're way off on that. So if you do the math here, a 100-inch screen is 4 feet by 7. If you put them across 3 times 7, it's going to be 21. If you stack them high, then that's going to be 12. You're going to have 12. So 12 feet high if you stack them high, but you're still going to be short the length. And then additionally, if you put them down at 7, 3 times 7 is 21, you're going to be still short the length. So let's show you through Projector Central. Let me see if I can find it in here. Projector Central. Is this Projector Central? Yeah, this is Projector Central. I think it is. Yeah. No. That's something else. That's not even Projector Central. I'm trying to find Projector Central. We just had on here. Nope. Take all this out. Take all this out. Take this out. Take this out. I need that Projector Central. I guess I gotta pull it myself again. Projector Central. So let's pull up a basic. Did it give me what I wanted? It gave me something completely different. Projector Central. Okay. No, that's people something. I asked for Projector Central. There we go. So let's show you how big a 300-inch screen is. Let's put in ViewSonic. And this is what I mean by you can't put in false information, because somebody who may not know at the end of the day may think that 2 quarts are going to paint a screen that high, and that's not going to happen. That's someone clearly lying in their specifications. All right, so let me see. PXP, I got it right here, right? All right, let's go to the specifications. The specification on a 4K projector. Let's bring it up to, let's see, we got it at the calculator. There's a calculator. Let's get it at around 69. We need to do 300 inches. So this one we can do $293. $93. Well, we can do 200. The screen size is almost there. It does at 37 feet. You have to be 30. Sorry about that, people. Let me get this off the stand for a minute. You have to be 37 feet back and 4 inches to get a screen size of 293 inches. So that's that. And your screen would have to be 255 inches across and around 143 inches wide. Now, if you did that with the equivalent of 3 100-inch screens, then you would come in the range of a 100-inch screen is going to be around 7 feet by 4 feet. So that's 21 feet wide. You're 21 feet wide, and a 293-inch screen is 255 inches wide. So where in the world did you add that up from? Because again, you said 3 100-inch screens. 3 100-inch screens. Let's see, let's bring it back a little bit. Let's see. That's equivalent at 3 100-inch screens. Bring it here, 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 bring it here. All right, let's put this in place here. All right. 3 100-inch screens. Yeah, approximately what I said in measurements, exactly. So you're talking about 4 feet. At 4 feet, right? 4 feet. And if you count it, that's 4 feet high. At 4 feet high, you're going to be at 12 feet high. That's all you're going to have. At 12 feet, you're never going to reach 300-inch screen or 293-inch because you have to be 145 inches, so you're short by a lot. If you stack them long, then that's 7 feet wide per screen. That is 21 feet. So that means now you have 21 feet, and you're going to be short by quite a lot because you're short by 230, wait, 21 feet, 236, I think it's 236 feet you're going to be short about that much. Yeah. So no, that's not going to happen, not ever. So basically, that's a lie. And keep in mind, we had to bring this up multiple times to him to give him a challenge to go paint this screen for 2 quarts at 300 inches, but refused to do this. And this is the reason why I tell you that you have to be careful because of these fake specifications that people will add to their site. This is why you have to make sure that they have tests to back everything up. If there's no test backing the product up, they can't show the product was tested before it was sold, you don't buy it. Or you get ripped off. Because think about it, someone came in, they had an event coming up, and they requested a 300-inch screen, and you said only 2 quarts are required. First things first, what they're going to do, they're probably going to have a professional painter doing the paint job. Most likely, most people do it with a screen that size. They're going to go back and they're going to ask the painter, hey, this guy is telling us that 2 quarts is going to paint this screen size at 300 inches, and the painter is going to say it's a lie. He doesn't know what he's talking about. That's virtually impossible. Unless you can show proof. Now, say he can do 2 quarts out of 300, which is virtually impossible, can't be done. But just say he was able to do it. Then they're going to request proof that he can do this. And if he can't accomplish it, it's not going to happen. It's going to take a two gallons at most, basically, to prime the surface. All right, well, that's basically about it. I'm done with this right here. Just showing you some things you need to know. I still have this pretty dark right now, but I want to get a little bit darker because I want to do that demonstration against the Digital One Crystal Screen Paint Free Paint. Keep in mind that product can pull up at 1,000 lumens. And I told you for these projection paints out here that claim to be amazing products had to be at 2,200 lumens. I told you we tested this product, and this product has the ability to do 1,000 lumens. But again, the people who make these products don't know much about the specification sheets, and they're just adding stuff in there just to say for just adding stuff in there. All right, well, one more to do today, and that's it. Gotta go, and God bless.